Good morning to everyone. I am Infant Vikram, Business Study Lecturer from Don Bosco PU College, Chitradurga. We shall start the class with the first chapter, that is Management. In this session, we shall try to cover the three concepts, and those three major concepts are meaning of management, first concept, then features or characteristics of management, the last one, objectives of management. Okay, we shall go to meaning of management. Management can be explained with the two statements. Both the statements give us the same meaning with different words. Both the statements take us to the same destination. They have got a very close relationship between them. But they have got different words, that's all. First we shall see both the statements, first statement and the second statement. After that, I will tell you how they are related to each other and how they give us the same meaning or how they take us to the same destination. First statement says that management is an art of getting things done from the employees to achieve the organizational goals. Here, things stands for work. I mean, as a manager or as a proprietor, I get the work done from the employees, not to while away my time or not for any other purpose. I get the work done from the employees just to achieve the organizational goal or attain the organizational goal. When you hear the word organizational goal or organizational goals, the question may arise in your mind, what may be the organizational goal? Irrespective of the size, nature of the organization, all the organizations in the world will be having one common goal. Whether the organization may be large, whether the organization may be small, all the organizations in the world will be having one common goal, that is growth and expansion. You may ask, what is growth and expansion? To be simple, making the organization bigger and bigger. I will tell you in the next slide what is exactly growth and expansion. Fine? Okay. In the first statement I said, or first statement says that management is getting things or work done from the employees. For what? To reach or to attain or to achieve the organizational goal. That's all. You came to know what is the common goal of all the organizations in the world, right? Okay. If we are going to see the second statement, it says that management is the process of planning, organizing, staffing, controlling and directing. These are the 5 major functions of management. In your higher studies, few more functions will be added like reporting, budgeting. For time being, for your PUC syllabus, only 5 major functions are asked, that's all. If a manager is undertaking planning or organizing or staffing, controlling and directing, it means he is undertaking management. Any function it may be. It may be directing. If a manager is directing the employees in the organization, it indicates that particular manager or proprietor or owner is undertaking management in the organization. Okay, first statement says that management is nothing but just getting the work done from the employees. And the second statement says that if you undertake 5 these functions, that will become management. I mean, management is a process of these 5 major functions. I will tell you one by one about these 5 major functions, but it will be very brief explanation because these 5 major functions have got their own separate subjects. In future coming chapters, you will be studying about these functions in depth. So here it is enough that I will give a brief explanation, right? Okay, we shall see first planning. In our daily life we plan for not many things but only for very few things, right? But those things will be very important ones. We plan for very important things because they should not be missed out. We plan for important things because they should be completed on time. We plan only for important things because there should not be confusions or overlapping of work or duplication of work, right? In the same way, manager or proprietor or owner, whoever the higher authority is present in the organization, they plan for the organization. Usually planning will be undertaken for the whole year, right? Okay. In the planning process, we decide everything in advance. Planning is just deciding in advance, that's all. To be simple, planning is just deciding in advance, that's all. Again, the question may arise in your mind, what we decide in advance in the planning. Here we decide only 4 W's in advance, that's all. How many W? Just 4 W's. First W, in the first W we decide what to do. What activity has to be undertaken in the management for coming 1 month or for coming 1 year. Next W is where to do. In the first W I decide activity. What activity is supposed to be done in the organization for coming period. And in the second W I decide where to do, where to undertake this particular work I have decided in the planning. Where to undertake. You can see organizations having many branches. You can take that example. Where to undertake this project, whether to undertake in Chitradurga branch or in Bangalore branch. Okay, the place we decide, that's all. Place is decided now. Next W, when to do. When to start the work I have decided and when to end it, because timing plays a crucial role in the project or in the success of the organization. The project that is not completed on time is just a waste or just a scrap. So here timing plays a crucial role and we take decision about the starting and ending time of the project or activity. In the next W we decide who is to do. Who is going to lead the particular project I have decided or particular activity I have decided. Who are all the employees will be working under the project I have decided. Okay, usually we assign the project to persons based on their quality, based on their qualification and work history or their achievement history, their talent, skills, right? Just we cannot assign the project to persons randomly, right? Okay. So, as I told you earlier, planning is deciding in advance what to do, where to do, how to do, and who is to do, right? Okay. Next, we shall pass on to the next function, that is organizing. Organization, irrespective of its size or nature, the whole organizations can be divided into just 3 parts. I mean, organization, even if it is large or big, it can be divided into just 3 parts or 3 M's. 3 M's means first M, men, second machinery, third one money. Or in other words, organization can be divided into 3 parts. First part, financial resources. Second one, physical resources. The third one is human resources. Here, organizing is just bringing together all the 3 resources. Here, owner or proprietor or manager brings all the 3 resources together to form an organization. First one, financial resources. He arranges for financial resources to start an organization and to run it. Right? Whatever the sources available or whatever the sources convenient for him, he will arrange from those sources. It is already said that banks, financial resources, private financial institutions, parents, friends, these are the major sources of finance, right? Okay. From these sources, manager or proprietor or owner arranges for financial resources. Okay. First resources is arranged. By using that financial resources, he will get the second resources, that is physical resources. Physical resources may be like transportation, furniture and fittings, land and building, machineries, raw materials. Right? These are the major examples of physical resources. By using financial resources, proprietor arranges for the physical resources. Next, to use these 2 resources, financial and physical, he will go for next resources, that is human resources. There story will not get over. Organizing is not just putting together all the 3 resources. Story will not get over. After bringing together all the 3 resources, he or she has to create an acquaintance among them. He has to connect each other. He has to create acquaintance among them. He has to train or show the employee or show the employees in the organization or he has recruited. He has to show them how to produce raw materials by using those machineries, by using financial resources or physical resources or raw material maybe, right? He has to show how to utilize those 2 resources. Then the real work starts there and organization will be able to reach its goal end of the day. Otherwise, those 3 resources will become dead investment. Right? Okay. Now we shall see the third function, that is staffing. To be very simple, staffing is just dividing the people or aspirants. I mean, many people aspire to work in the organization, right? Many people come to organization for interview. There we have to divide the aspirants into 2 groups. One group, the first group, those who are offered job. The second one, those who are not offered job. Those who are selected and those who are rejected. Or in other words, staffing is just selecting the people or selecting the right people for right job in the organization. The first statement will be easy to understand. I mean, dividing the people into 2 groups. Those who are offered job and those who are not so. Right? Okay. And of course, staffing plays a very crucial role in the success of the organization. If the staffing function is not undertaken properly, people, those who are not worthy of working in the organization will get in the organization or will enter the organization, and the end of the day organization will not be able to perform well, will not be able to provide the good quality of goods and services, and at last it will suffer loss and will be wound up, right? We'll see about controlling. Controlling is a process of setting target, then measuring the actual performance and comparing it with the target. After comparison, they will get the deviation. They will find out the reasons for deviation. Based on those reasons, they will implement or take corrective measures. Example, owner or proprietor or manager, they will be having their own expectation, right? They will be having their own expectation. For example, this much work should be completed in a month. This much work should be completed in coming year, right? Okay. That expectation will become or set as a target in the organization and will be made known to employees in the organization because they are the one who is going to achieve, right? Okay. First they will set the target. Assume that a manager or a proprietor has set a target of 10 bags. 10 bags should be produced in a day. An employee called A, he could produce only 8 bags. There is deviation. What is that 8? 8 is the actual performance. Actually, what is taken place, that's all. 10 is expectation and that will be considered as target. And 8 is actual performance, actually what is done by the employee. They will compare the actual performance with the target set. When the comparison is over, they will get the deviation, that is 2. Deviation can be 3 types: positive, 0 and the negative. As I gave you example, in the example, employee has produced only 8 bags. Employee A, right? Employee A has produced only 8 bags. There he has produced 2 bags lesser than the target set. There is deviation. When the comparison is over, they will get the deviation. That deviation is negative because 2 bags lesser than the target set. Let's assume the employee A has produced 10 bags. Here he has done exactly what is expected of him. He has done what is exactly what is expected from him, right? Here there is no deviation. Target is 10 and he has produced only 10 bags, that's all. And the deviation is 0. Since there is no difference, since there is no deviation, it will be considered as 0 deviation. Let's also assume that employee A has produced 12 bags. 2 bags more than what is expected or what is set as a target. Here there is deviation but positive. Okay. In the controlling, they will set target. Next, they will compare the actual performance with the target. After comparison, they will get deviation. If the deviation is 0 or positive, just they will neglect, that's all. Of course, that will not be neglected. That will be recognized, that will be appreciated, but not corrective measures will not be taken. I will tell what is that corrective measures, I will tell you. Okay, assume that there is negative deviation. They will find out the reasons for negative deviation. If there is positive deviation, they will not find out reasons. They will not bother, that's all. Okay. If there is a negative deviation, In the first example, as I told you, in the first example, employee A has produced 8 bags. I mean 2 bags lesser than what is set as target. Here they will find out the reasons for deviation. They will find out the reasons why A has produced only 8 bags. Whether that particular employee is wasting time by chatting with the friends, or whiling away his time by taking too many breaks, or that particular employee doesn't have proper knowledge about the work field. No, these are the common reasons for deviations, right? Okay, once they get the reason, particular reason for a deviation, based on that reason they will take corrective measures. Corrective measures may be, assume that employee is wasting time by taking too many breaks. Corrective measures may be like manager or proprietor or owner or HR may call that particular employee and warn him or motivate him. Okay, you can motivate that particular employee, saying that if you work hard you will get promotion. If you get promotion, you will get a handsome salary and your standard of living will increase. Okay, in this way you can motivate him, and this will be considered as corrective measures. Here controlling is over. Next we shall see about the last major function of management, that is directing. To be very simple, directing is just telling the people what to do and what not to do. Telling the employee what you are supposed to do and what you are not supposed to do. And also directing includes guiding the people regarding the work, communicating them the updated information, because we are operating the business in a dynamic environment, right? Environment keeps on changing. We have to keep on updating the things. So here manager or higher authority, whoever it may be, they will update the employees by giving updated information. Okay, here directing includes communicating the updated information, giving guidance, correcting them, I mean giving corrections while doing their work. After completing their work they will give feedback, or training them, motivating them, appreciating them. These all will come under directing. Now you might have got a brief idea of the functions of management. Okay, now let me tell you what is the relationship between these two statements. First statement, I repeat, first statement says that getting work done from the employees, that is management. For what? To reach the organization goal. To reach the organizational goal. Second statement says that if you do all the 5 major functions, that itself will become management. Okay, first statement says that management is getting work done from the employee. Here, unless and until we perform these 5 managerial functions, we cannot get the work done from the employees, as said in the first statement. All of the sudden in the morning I cannot go and stand in front of the employees and assign them work. If I do so without any proper planning, important things will be missed out. The same work will be done by different employees, which is considered as a duplication of work or overlapping of work. There will be lots of confusions. There will not be perfection. And at the end of the day, organization will not be able to achieve its goal and will be wound up after some time. So, if we have proper plan of a particular activity, how that should be divided into different pieces, and for whom this particular work should be assigned, and that particular work should be assigned to whom. Okay, these things will be planned These things will be decided in advance in planning, and later that will be implemented. There we will be able to get the work done from the employees. We cannot, if we take example staffing, unless and until we undertake staffing, we will not get the employees. We don't have the employees in the organization from whom you are going to get the work done, right? So first we have to do staffing, then we will get employees, get the work done from the employees. So there is a link. Unless and until we undertake these 5 major functions, we cannot get the work done from the employees, which is considered as management. Okay, here I assume you got some idea of management. What is management, right? Okay, now we shall pass on to the next topic. As I told you in the beginning, what is next topic? That is characteristics or features of management. Okay, we shall start with the first feature of management. That is, management is goal-oriented process. See, while explaining these features, I go back to meaning. For each and every feature, I go back to meaning, because meaning is foundation for the whole chapter. Okay, management is a goal-oriented process. I mean, management is just done to reach organizational goal, not for any other purpose, right? Not for we are paying salary to the employees, so I assign them the useless things. Not that should not be right. That should not be done in the organization. I get the work done from the employees just to reach the organization goal. Here, getting work done from the employees, what is that? Is management. If we take planning, if you are doing planning, you are doing management, right? If a manager is doing planning, he is undertaking management, because planning is nothing but management. Staffing is nothing but management. Controlling is nothing but management, as I told you in the meaning, right? Okay. In the organization, planning is done to reach the goal. Organizing is done to reach the goal. Staffing is done to reach the goal. Controlling is done to reach the goal, right? Okay. Totally, at the end, management is done just to reach the goal. Okay, so management is considered as goal-oriented process. Next feature is management is all-pervasive. Here, all-pervasive stands for universally applicable. I mean, management is universally applicable to all the organizations in the world, irrespective of their place of establishment, irrespective of their size, irrespective of their nature. Management is applicable to all the organizations in the world, right? Okay, we are in US. We don't undertake management. We cannot tell like that, because unless and until we undertake the management, we cannot reach what? We cannot reach the goal. To reach the goal, we should undertake the management, right? As I told you in the beginning, all the organizations in the world will be having their own goal. That may be the growth and expansion. To reach that goal, we should have management. So here, management becomes all-pervasive. I mean, universally applicable to all the organizations in the world. Next, we shall see about the third feature of management, or third characteristic of management. That is, management is multidimensional. I mean, here multidimensional stands for management has got more than one dimension. Here, management has got 3 dimensions. That's why it is considered as multidimensional. We shall see what are they. The first dimension is management of work. The second one is management of people. Third one goes management of operation. Okay, first, if we are going to see management of work, it will be like, in the management, we will be dealing with the work. Again, we are going back to the meaning. In the meaning itself, I told you, in the management, we will be getting the work done from the employees. For what? To achieve the organizational goal. For what? To achieve the organizational goal. So, in the management, we divide the whole work into different smaller parts and will be assigned to people in the organizations according to their talent, skills, qualification, work experience, their achievement history, etc. After that, they will complete the work and give us. So, in the management, we will be dealing with the work. We will be getting the work. That is the main core part of management. Here, we can consider management of work as one dimension. The second one, management of people. The second dimension is management of people. As in the first dimension, we will be dealing with the people in management process. In the first dimension, we will be dealing with the work. And in the second dimension, we will be dealing with the people. For example, if we are going to take controlling, in the controlling, we will be communicating our target to the people. We will be asking them the reasons for the deviations, and after that we will take corrective measures. That too, we will be dealing with the people. We will be training them, motivating them, warning them, etc. So, first dimension is over, the second dimension is over. In the first dimension, we will be dealing with the work in the management process. The second dimension, we will be dealing with the people. When we go to the third dimension, that is management of operation. See, already I have explained you in the first dimension, management of work, we will be dealing with the work. Operation is nothing but series of works will become operation, that's all. Series of work constitutes operation. For example, assume that we are going to undertake operation of producing 100 tons of steel. That operation needs series of works like buying raw material, purifying, shifting the raw material from the place where it is available to the place of where it is needed, to the place of organization. So these are the works. All the work, starting from buying raw material till it is packed and shifted to the godown. These series of works will form operation. So in the management, we will be dealing with the operation. Right? Okay. We shall see about the next feature of management, that is, management is a continuous process. From the statement itself, you can understand management has to be performed continuously without giving break in the organization, because the moment we stop the management function, the fall down of the organization starts. See, all the organization stands or functions to reach the goal, to reach its goal, right? See, the moment we stop management, we will not be forwarding towards the goal. We will stop in the off path or off of the way itself, because as I told you in the meaning itself, management is functioned only to reach the goal. Unless and until an organization functions or performs management function, it will not be able to reach its goal, right? So here, if an organization stops management function, it will not be able to reach its goal. Then it will be have to wound up, right? So management has to be performed continuously till the organization exists. For example, staffing function. An organization stops controlling function or staffing function, it will not get employees. And after some time, the organization will come to end. And one more example, controlling. Assume that organization stops controlling function, then work will not be completed on time, there will be lots of confusion, there will be overlapping or duplication of work, right? At the end of the day, organization will not be able to reach its goal and will come to end. And if we are going to take one more example, directing. Assume that in the organization, directing function is completely stopped. The manager or proprietor or owner stops directing the employees. Their employees will not learn, their efficiency will not increase because they will not be guided, or updated information will not be communicated to them, they will not be trained. So employees' efficiency will not increase, but rather will keep on decreasing. At the end of the day, organization fails to attain its goal and will come to end. So till the organization exists, management should be performed. Next, management is a group activity. Here too, you can come to know from the statement itself, management has to be performed by many people. It cannot be performed by proprietor or manager alone. For example, planning. Planning cannot be performed by a single person, because single person cannot be expert in all the fields. Assume that a owner is expert in technical field. He may not be having much idea about marketing field, sales field or production field. He cannot take right decision. If he takes a decision about the fields in which he is not expert, his decision or her decision may go wrong or may not be sound ones. So he has to or she has to get the suggestions, or he or she has to has to get suggestion from the different experts and come to final decision. Their planning becomes group activity. Planning is nothing but management. One more example, staffing. Staffing cannot be undertaken by a manager alone. He may need many helping hands like HR, operational manager, quality auditor or manager or BHR. He may need many helping hands. He cannot undertake the staffing function alone. So here too, staffing becomes group activity. Staffing is nothing but management, because staffing is just one part of management, right? Okay. If we are going to the next feature, that will be management is a dynamic function. I mean, management can be modified or management can be changed according to the needs in the organization or according to the changes taking place in the business environment. Because as I told you in the earlier class, we are operating our business in the dynamic environment or in the environment which keeps on changing, which keeps on updating. So management should be dynamic. It cannot be rigid. Otherwise, it cannot help us to reach the goal, organizational goal. So it should be dynamic. For example, staffing. Okay, assume that there is organization called A and which has got very few employees and it is not getting much profit. It can undertake all the managerial function except staffing. It can improve its planning, it can improve its controlling function, directing function. All the functions can be performed except staffing function, because the organization is very small and it is not getting much profit. Without profit, it cannot go for growth and expansion. Without growth and expansion, it cannot opt for staffing function. So here staffing function can be excluded and management becomes dynamic. Fine. Next, we shall pass on to the last feature, that is management is an intangible force. See, intangible stands for something that cannot be touched or seen or felt, touched and felt, right? But its effects will be present. For example, doctor is giving treatment to a patient. See, we can see that giving treatment, we can see the process of giving treatment to the patient, but we cannot see the treatment. Okay, you are getting difference between, you are getting right, there is difference between the process of giving and that particular treatment, right? But here treatment cannot be seen or touched, but there will be effect. What is that effect? Patient will get recovered, right? Okay. Here too, management is an intangible force. Planning, we cannot see the planning, but we can see the planning process. We can see the manager sitting with many experts and having discussion, taking final decision. We can see that process, but we cannot see the planning, right? Staffing, we can see the staffing process, conducting many interviews, group discussion, all the things can be seen, that process can be seen, but staffing cannot be seen. But there will be effect. What will be the effect of staffing? We will get employees. What will be the effect of planning? There will be no much confusions, overlapping or duplication of work will be avoided, and work will be completed on time, and final effect will be the organization reaches or attains its goal, right? Okay, here the session ends. We shall continue the next topic, that is objectives of management. We shall continue this topic in the next session. Thank you.